Blessings, Facebook. Okay, this is going to work. Mary Bridget O'Donoghue here, wanting to speak a few things into our space that, ancient things that if you feel it as I speak it, you know it to be true. There is no convincing. So much gratitude to everyone. So much is being done right now. What I've been looking into for the last little while, so I just want to come on and kind of explain myself, because I'm putting up comments that are quite brazen, let's say, proclamations of my truth, of truth, of Mother's truth, of the eternal Mother's truth, and they are massively unsettling, as they are intended to be, because the paradigm we are within, we are leaving, was not formulated with the presence, with the full presence of the Mother's truth. The paradigm we are within was formulated, a little bit of resistance. The paradigm we are within was formulated from the enslavement of the Mother Principle. So when the womb of creation was used with an ulterior mind, not that of the Mother, it is important to ascertain, for me to assert, it is important for me to assert that the magnetic creational mind, the symphonic creational mind of creation, is of the Mother. And that is restoring. So we have, in this harshness, in this division of mind and heart and body, all the pieces pulled asunder from each body. Remember, as I'm speaking this, every rebirth of every age takes place within the womb of creation. So as we are correcting the womb, this is in order to correct the child, and we are all the child of the womb of the Great Mother. Everyone. That doesn't exclude anyone. Even so, that the concepts that there are parts of humanity not going through this rebirth that other people call ascension is just not accurate. It isn't possible, because everyone is within the womb of the Great Mother. The only way it can be done, that half of humanity is evolving and half isn't, is when the womb of the Great Mother is decimated, fractured, and that's not happening ever again. So our wholeness is the only way to guarantee innocence. Wholeness is the only way to guarantee sovereignty. Sanctity, the womb has sanctity. So the paradigm we are leaving now is one of womb enslavement, and we are returning to a paradigm based upon the knowing of, the remembering of, the embodying of the creational womb within women on earth. And these women, these mothers of creation, this is open to all women, these mothers of creation will have full command over their womb, of course, and their mind, their creational mind, their symphonic magnetic mind is and will continue to be, and will only strengthen, in direct attunement, direct correlation with the first magnetic symphonic mind of creation. And that channels through the wisdom of their womb. So we are seeing, and we will continue to see, what the Mother of creation looks like, what the womb of creation looks like when it is solely commanded by the mothers of creation, who embody at this time the eternal Mother, because it never changes from age to age. The intention of our core and our containment never changes, regardless of what nonsense takes place within it. The eternal intention of the continuum and the containment never actually changes, unless there is aggressive, violent interference. And we are undoing all that has been left over from the aggressive, violent interference. And where that really matters is in the places we have agreed to absorb the violence and to allow that violence to be within us, where we have agreed to the contract under duress. So absorbing the violence. Anything less than symphonic, harmonic majesty is violence absorbed. It is limitation absorbed. It is contract within the body. We are coming to a place of majestic, symphonic harmony within our own body. That means the whole body coming into a place of perfect regeneration and eternal life, I would imagine. And that means the whole system, the ecosystem, the consciousness system coming into that same understanding too. I want to talk about, so we are in the sealed system. We are in the sealed system. The core tone and the containment has been reclaimed by the Eternal Mother working through her embodiments upon earth. So that is done. We are in a sealed system. And now we are assessing what is within the womb and choosing how to bring it back to what we remember it to be. We know it feels to me like the women have poured water on all of the lines, all of the words, all of the definitions, and we are literally just looking at our paint box again, looking at our palette and we have reclaimed our palette of vibration, of color, of tone, of hue, of all the components we need to formulate the dream. The womb is the dreamscape. It is the space of dreaming. And I wish to talk about menstruation. I wish to talk about false operating frequencies within the womb. That have, hi Hannah, blessings everyone. Rua, Elsie and Tamara, thank you for being with me. What has taken our womb out of being the dreaming bowl, the oracular birthing pool of the Eternal Mother, and what has taken it to be something else, a place where we absorb the violence, a place where we absorb the violence, and we made a contract with suffering in that absorption. So we are undoing all contracts. We are talking about changing paradigms completely. This isn't, we're not rearranging the bits and pieces in the box that we are within. We are disagreeing to the definition of the box. We are disagreeing to the definition of the containment. We do not agree with any definition. We will be formulating all definition from the core truth. We are the center, heart of core truth. And everything will be formulated from that standing, and the attunement of all the optional, movable pieces in all densities. It doesn't make a difference. We see what's happening with the seismic activity. Density makes no difference to our symphonic mind, our weaving mind. Makes no difference. It just, maybe it's a little bit more difficult when we're talking about earthquakes and volcanoes, and hoping as little disruption and harm as possible to everyone at this time. But we will, there will be no stone left unturned. There will be no stone left bound to the grey heart frequency. We are returning everything to the ruby heart. We are bringing the blood back to the heart of the womb. Hey, Tamara. Thank you, Tamara. We are Julia, we are working through so much. And the only way, how do we make something that seems solid, that seems formed, yes, all-encompassing. How do we make something that's formed and seemingly solid, malleable, We have to bring it through the plasmic heart. That's what we are doing. So we have to feel it. And in our feeling of it, with this ruby plasmic heart, which we have, this is the heart of eternal life. This is the heart of the divine heart of eternity. This is the heart of the one wave, the wave of compassion, the wave of that can give life to the dead. This is the heart that we know of Christ, of Magdalene. We know this heart so well, and we've never forgotten it. So we are taking the womb out of all contract with suffering now. And I will use the word Moloch because that was the word that came, the name that came to me. And as I have been undoing this, every time I undo a contract, every time I find a pinch where suffering has been agreed to by the womb, it releases an energy, and I can feel it outside my home, flying past. Yeah, it's like just a black smoke, like a shadow, and it goes. It's gone then. So we are removing the smoke and mirrors from the womb, all the places that we have built, the structures that we have built to make the violence that is taking place within our womb seem palatable. We have created systems of understanding, moon worship, horoscopes, all of that. We have created systems of understanding to give meaning to our suffering. And that is what people do when they're suffering. That is what we do, because we need to make sense of where we are. What I'm saying is that all of that is coming undone, and we are going back to the original dream, the eternal mother's vision of the womb. We are going back to that understanding within each woman. This is not something that will need to be taught to anybody. But of course, talking to each other is beautiful and helpful. But we will feel this. This is coming through the womb. All the waters are returning to one. So the water of the ocean, the water of the cosmos, the water of the womb, all of the water is being reclaimed by this ruby plasmic heart. So all that means the word, the voice, the memory, the intention, the intelligence within every droplet of water is coming into one. So you will know, and I will know, the whole intention of the waters of eternity from one drop, because there will be no separation of water. So that is happening, and it is happening through our hearts, through our feeling of it all. But to the point where I was at the ocean yesterday, and I could very clearly hear what the ocean was telling me, as clear as a bell, because there's no difference between the quality of my water and the quality of that ocean water now. And this is the same as the water under the ground. We are hearing the water of the voice of the wellspring water. We're hearing the voice of the stagnant water, of the hidden water, of the celestial water. We are hearing each other's and feeling each other's tears. And this is what has to happen so that we no longer forsake anyone. So much has been broadcast within the womb of one that is an insult to the eternal mother's intentionality for the womb. And we all know that the eternal mother is in full command of the womb. And we are, as women, being brought to the image of that. And then everybody is being brought to the child of that. So with all the same qualities, with all, the mother's heart will be our heart. The mother's mind will be our mind. We are being fully reborn as a child of the Great Mother, and the women who are in devotion to listening to the sound and the water of the Great Mother are rebirthing everything, holding this rebirthing womb space. So our blood system, our circulatory system is divine. It is the carriage of light. and all water carries light. So no, as I say, we are bringing and all water into one through this ruby plasma. So ruby plasma gives life, animation, living. It brings everything to the one feelable, to being feelable and malleable. So that is why we have to feel everything. But that sacred blood, that sacred water, is to be sealed in a circuitry, a sealed circuitry of regeneration. This is the water of eternal life. We are rebuilding the body of eternal life. We are rebuilding the consciousness of eternal life through this. And we are guaranteeing the sealing because we are holding the womb space. We are guaranteeing the seal. So if we are guaranteeing the seal and everything inside in this sealed space is all we have. There's nothing outside of the sealed womb. So everything we have is on the table right now. And we are the painters. This is our palette. Like I said, there is no agreement. If we have agreed to anything, unagree. We choose all agreements now from this understanding that everything is before us and we are the mothers of creation. And we paint the dreamscape of the original womb for everyone to live within this this dream, the purest dream, the most loving dream that includes everyone, that does not insult anything. This dream comes from the one drop of water, the one drop which carries all. And we are formulating that. All of this is being formulated now and it's moving so fast. So I want to talk about menstruation. I want to talk about what has come to me, that menstruation is an absorption of violence. It is a contract with a grey frequency. The grey frequency always drains, always seeks to drain. It's a draining frequency. It's a frequency of absence that always seeks to break the seal of the sanctity of the one body of humanity. When you hear it talking, you often hear it talking like convincing that this is the frequency that convinces that half of humanity can be saved and the other half can be damned. It's always seeking to find a way in, to siphon the lifeblood of humanity. As I said, the lifeblood of humanity, this, which is all the water, all the light and the water brought together through this ruby plasmic heart, the one heart that we are, the Christed heart that we are within the womb of the Great Mother. We are guaranteeing the seal now, and we are finding the ways to uphold that seal and formulate the dream and allow for the dreaming within it. All of the full palette of vibration has been restored. The dignity, the divinity, the purest intention of all vibrations has been restored. We have our palette back. Thank you, Rua. We have our palette back. All of the colors of I don't know if these are the right words, but I see sound as color. So the full spectrum of our tones that we need to sing and paint our dream space. The mother's colors. So what I'm saying, that all those colors were interrupted, where every one of them seemed to have some kind of infringement upon them. And we have brought each one back to sanctity, to perfection, so that they can be rewoven again. So everything can be rewoven again with these colors. So Mother has her palette back. And then we are the heart which purposes that palette. And nothing, and as I said, as the seal is here, we are sealed, so nothing really can go wrong, except, we just try, and if it does, whatever is our own returns to us. Whatever is real and pure will resonate and become part of the dream of humanity. Whatever is still, of a piece of distortion within us will just return to us until we absorb that through the heart as well. So I want to talk, menstruation. Okay. So much is coming through on this. If we think about, and I'm just going to speak around it because I know there's some women who might hear this and may never have considered this, and I know there's lots of women here who have considered this and probably have a much more formulated opinion on it than I do. But bear with me because I only speak to what comes to me, and when it comes to me, I hold it like a dog with a bone until. Yes, Lilia. So the menstruation. So yes, we have made sense of menstruation, and we have enjoyed it. The ups and downs, the depth and the lightness, the invigoration in some parts of our cycle, and the depth, the melancholic parts in our cycle. So we have learned to be of the cycle of menstruation because we are creatures of grace and intelligence. We are able to dance to any song. But is that our original song, is what I'm asking now. It seems to me, and I'm going to speak this very clearly, that menstruation is a recurring contract with Moloch to visit blood sacrifice and pain and suffering upon women. Speaking from my own experience, as soon as my menstruation started, everything changed for me. My dreaming changed. My feeling of safety or lack of safety came. I became aware that I was now prey in this paradigm. So, and then speaking to, I'm thinking of someone else, when she started her menstruation, she started to cry. And it was always the adults around me. I remember saying, this is congratulations, this is a wonderful thing. But a feeling of dread came over me. And I've watched that in other girls too. If you can think back to when it first began for you, a feeling of dread, of that and let me really be strong with this and just let you feel this and see how this feels for you. It is, and I'm going to read all your comments later, but just going to try and get through this. But please do comment. This is so important because this is a swirling bowl for all of us to be speaking our truth. This feeling that the trajectory that I held within myself in this pure womb, this untouched womb, this dream space that I swam in, was now, the trajectory had been changed. The trajectory had somehow been changed, and now this womb was not my own. What is coming? There's so much pain within the womb of women, so much dysfunction. So many women are suffering with serious scar tissue and inflammation, to the point that some women have to get their wombs removed, or that is seen as the most sensible option because of the extent of the pain. So there's something wrong there, because the womb creates life. The substance within the womb, the lifeblood within the womb, is the most rich, fertile, life-giving substance. Is there anything else more life-giving than it? Life-giving also means healing. So by virtue of that, the womb should be a place of the highest healing. It should be always in a healed state. It should be perfection. If it is the place where the life-giving waters and blood is produced, the lifeblood is produced there, why are women suffering? And I will tell you why in my knowing. Our wombs have been held under a false frequency contract. When we are attuned to a false frequency through contract. It's like choosing the radio station. And I am saying now that there is another frequency that we can attune to that undoes the contracts with this pain and suffering and blood sacrifice, monthly blood sacrifice. There is a higher frequency, a purer frequency, the frequency of the Eternal Mother's intentionality for the womb, of the mothers of creation. That is a good point, Hannah. Let me speak to that. So think of when those injections were being given to people. Do you remember the women around those people would have incredibly heavy periods? That happened to me one time, just from being in the same room as someone. And it was shown that the wombs had to, push out this stuff, right? That was being absorbed through the skin or whatever. So that shows that if the period changes, if menstruation changes to serve a function of cleansing because of this poison, could it be that the womb is cleansing continually because of a poisonous frequency? Because what would the womb doesn't have to cleanse itself. The womb is immaculate. The womb is immaculate. And this degenerating grey frequency of violence absorbed has brought this narrative that the womb needs to cleanse itself once a month by purging, and that the women need to be in pain and suffering, and to have this undercurrent of destabilization and weakness, fatigue, anemia, whatever else, low bone density. All of these things that go along with, and there's more than that. I know there's more than that. There's the endometriosis, there's fibroids, there's all of these pains, inflammation and scar tissue within the most sacred part of our body, the Immaculate Womb. And we are being returned to the Immaculate Wombs of the Great Mother. And that is a promise. And this operating frequency is leaving, and we are attuning to the highest frequency of the womb now. So we are undoing that contract with violence absorbed. We are no longer absorbing the consequence of violence. We are preserving ourselves. We are the Immaculate Womb, and that does not end when menstruation begins. Menstruation is an imposition. Menstruation is an imposition. And we will find our way, and it will be shown to us. I am only speaking what I'm being told and what's rising through me. This isn't from a book. This isn't from education. This is from memory. This is from memory before the moon, before the harnessing of the water, before the harnessing of the womb, before the enslavement of the mother. This is just memory speaking through my body. And it is our body's voice that has the right to speak, and it is needed and invited at this time. Our body contains the memory of all that has ever been, right back to the beginning. Our wombs are in a lineage directly connected to the Eternal Mother. So regardless of what has happened between our time in the form within the womb at the very beginning, when we are formed in the image of the Eternal Mother, between that point and now, regardless of time, density, the illusion of time, the illusion of density, I am saying now none of it matters. It is collapsed, and it is our palette of creation. And we will decide now the dreamscape for the whole of humanity. And the whole of humanity will be reborn in Christed form through the Immaculate Womb. And we now are reclaiming the Immaculate Womb for each woman, within each woman. So that is happening. That is happening. What I have seen, what I woke up today, showing, because, okay, the cervix, we know the cervix, or do we know that? I know this. The cervix is like an upward facing rose, an upward rose, a portal, but it goes upwards, and it creates this spiral of life. And the spiral of life is the spiral of regeneration. So what I'm saying is that cervix, somehow there has been an interruption in that cervix to create a drain. Oh my gosh, ladies, I am on fire. My head is steaming. Okay. Okay, I need to calm down for a second. I love you all. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being with me. We have been restoring the rose points, the vibrational beginning points around the earth. We have been bringing them back from the from the clockwise drain wormholes to counterclockwise source points, well springs of the crystal spiral of regeneration. So what I'm saying now is that the cervix is the most sanctified, holiest, beautiful beginning point, the upward rose, the beginning of the crystal spiral of the circulatory system of our bloodstream. This is the portal which will return the blood circuitry of divinity to the human body. And we are reclaiming this cervix in counterclockwise spin as a beautiful rose, the upward crystal spiral throughout our whole body. This is how we will restore the lifeblood of regeneration. This is how we will restore eternal life to each person. What I'm also seeing, so we think of that frequency override that began in menstruation when we were taken from that sanctified, immaculate, holy body to this body that was drained once a month. Thank you, Julie. So much love to all of you ladies. When we think of it, what is happening now is I see the blood returning to the whole system. So the heart was, the blood was drained from the heart in this drainage system, in this siphoning grey frequency upon the cervix. Oh, I was so angry. I'm so angry. There's a big dragon wants to come out and just bite something. Okay. The heart was drained. The blood from the heart was drained. The blood, the beautiful, rich, red heart that can feel all of humanity at all times in togetherness, the heart of Christ. And when I say Christ, that's Christ Sophia, right? Or, excuse me, it's Sophia is the crystal, but I feel at this moment Mary Magdalena. I feel Mary Magdalena. Okay. So, thank you, Tamara. The lifeblood was drained from the heart, down through the cervix. On this war frequency, on this violence absorbed, on this agreement by women to host sacrifice and to host bloodletting and to be the body on offer to Moloch. And I say this with so much love, that this is what we're moving away from. And we have done as the mother body everything we needed to do to bring our people as far as we have come. Every contract was necessary for our survival. Every contract was necessary for our survival. And there is love in everything. And everything we have done was done from love. And there is divinity in everything done from love. And everything that humans do is true love. Because we are loving beings. Okay. This has been such a violent assault. The black heart of Saturn and the magnetics of the moon. The sound and tension came from the black heart of Saturn. The magnetics came from the moon, and these were bound upon the human, bound upon the womb. So what I will say now, thank you, Julia, thank you, Danica. The magnetics are of the core of the earth. Thank you, Julia. The magnetics are at the core of the earth, the core of our mother, and much love to Coco, who with me, the beautiful, rich obsidian plasma mind of the mother, this benevolent, loving memory space, obsidian plasma, this memory held within Gaia, within Mother, which holds everything. Coco has brought, in my estimation, Coco has brought that beautiful realm into the rose so that we could feel it. It feels to me that Coco has brought that realm into purity so we could feel it. That's what that feels to me. And we're all doing what we're doing. I just need to say that. Thank you, Coco. That is our magnetic. It is that black and gold royal holding of the soil, of the wisdom of the soil that we will never be convinced out of again. And the language of that is instinct. Instinct is the whiskers of the body of one. Instinct are the whiskers, like the cat's whiskers, the hairs on the back of your neck, of the sanctity of the body of one. And instinct will never be bypassed again. Excuse me. The return of that highly intelligent, divine obsidian plasma back into the body, into our palette, like I say, our palette, our vibrational palette of the queenship of the eternal mothers on earth. The return of that into the womb means that every single person on earth will restore their faculty of instinct, just like that. And instinct is what disallows you from ever denying your body's truth, and which disallows you from ever being convinced of anything else. And that beautiful obsidian plasmic mind has nullified the Saturnian false sound waves, which were almost done as a mimicry of that beautiful holding. That Saturnian black sound wave was always speaking the words of suicide, abandonment, cut and run, forsake the others, follow me, forsake your body, mind over matter. That's what that was. Now we have a change. And please go watch my conversation with Coco, because this all formulated, this obsidian intelligence formulated through in our conversation. It came out. It's a long video, but it's so beautiful. I have it on when I'm cleaning or driving, and it's just I just keep re-listening to it and just letting it come into my body, because that obsidian intelligence is something we have been denied. It is the plasma of belonging, of embodied compassion, of the knowing of peace in the body, the knowing of peace and groundedness, earth and peace in the body. So what it is now is matter first, before mind. Matter first. And the first, the parameter of the wisdom, the holding of the wisdom, is instinct. And we will not allow our instinct to be trespassed ever again. And in that we will operate from our body's wisdom now. Because all of the memory is in the matter. We will not be ruled by concept ever again. We will be ruled, not ruled, but we will be, excuse me, we will be impulsed by body's wisdom, and the language of which is instinct. Okay, so this is where we're going. This is happening, and I'm just speaking what's coming through me. And the ocean yesterday was quite ferocious, and she was like, you better speak this. So it's so important we speak our words from the womb, so we don't have tsunamis on earth, because that is how it's going. The symbiosis between, the water and the matter. You think of the mudslides. I even see like avalanches. I see all sorts of things that are the voice of the mother upon earth. But we can tune into them and give them divine voice through our placement as divine humans. And it might help to calm the oceans and all of those things. So just offering this with clarity. I know it's true. And it means a dismantling of our systems of moon worship, excuse me, our glorification of suffering, our glorification of martyrdom. And all of these, there's no judgment. We have to make sense of our suffering when we are in it. But we are moving to a paradigm that is born from the bliss of the womb of the Eternal Mother through each woman on earth. We are all being remade in the image of the Immaculate Mother with the Immaculate Womb of creation, so that we can birth the heart of Christ within ourselves and the one heart of Christ within our womb right now. So what I'm saying is, and this will happen, I'm speaking the memory, and the way of it will come. As this, we have recalled now, and you can continue to do this as you wish. We've recalled the blood from suffering, siphoning, and drainage. We are reclaiming the upward, anti-clockwise, counterclockwise spin of the cervix, and we are bringing the blood back into the circulation. This is the most life-giving, replenishing substance on earth. So we are reclaiming it now for our perfect womb health, for the regeneration of our womb at all times, for the strengthening of our bones, for the remineralizations of our body. We are not to accept anemia and bone fragility as women. Absolutely not. Why are we being drained of our minerals and our strength? No. We are recalling this back in. But what it is also doing in this etheric dreamscape song bowl between us, it is rebirthing this one heart. Imagine the blood that was drained is returning to this beautiful one ruby plasmic heart, the heart of one. This is the heart of the one tide, the heart of the one wave, the heart that feels all, the heart that gives life to all, that brings all back to life. This is the heart of regeneration. We can call it the heart of Christ, the heart of Mary Magdalena. It feels almost like the heart of Christ within the womb of Mary Magdalena, if there were to be characters. But this is for each one of us. These were archetypes that showed us the way. So that is my beautiful news today, and I know it's true. And more will come. And if it is true, within the paradigm we are in, only what is true will ever multiply. Because we are in the womb, the Immaculate Womb of the Mother, and she works by multiplication. So what is true will multiply, but she works by multiplication of divine word, divine thought, divine truth. Because we are rebirthing heaven on earth. So much love. Please share if this feels, if your body has been activated listening to this. Please share. Thank you all so much for being with me, and thank you all so much for thank you so much for your presence and your devotion. It is all felt, and this is being done, like I say, between us all, and it is beautiful. Okay. So much love. So much love.